Well, welcome back to the reloading room. I think this is part 5 of this series, converting 223 brass to 300 blackout. Brief overview, do it every time. We started out with our 223 brass, picked up from the range a couple days ago. We took a full-length resizing die. I used Lee full-length resizing die. I took out the decapping pin for this step. Important, taking out the decapping pin. Reformed it. As you can see, 223 shoulder is still there, but added the 300 blackout shoulder. Then we used the Harbor Freight cutoff saw with the Squirrel Daddy jig in part 2 to chop off the 223 shoulder, but it left us with a really blunt tip, all gouged up. In part 3, we ran it through the chamfer and deburring tool on the lime and case prep station, and got a nice chamfer and deburred edge on that. In step 4, we deprimed. So we added the decapping pin back to our full-length resizing die with the expander ball, and we punched the primers out. But we're left with cases that are a little long. So like this case, even though it is inside of the max case length, this one is 1366. Trim length is 1358 and max case length is 1368. 1.368 inches to 1.358 inches. So I pulled out the quick trim. I've got the power trim adapter on it. Now what I have done, this is just what works for me, but what I have done is actually taken out the chamfer and deburring pieces on these. They have ate so many cases for me. Like, I bet I've lost 50 cases to the chamfer and deburring tools just eating them. And I've gotten all new inserts for them, and it'll work for a few cases, and then it'll just start eating them again. So I actually take it out, and I have used it like this for a long time, and I like the way it works. It works a lot better for me. It gives me really consistent results. Now, I don't know if this is the way you're supposed to use these things or not, but one of the issues that I always had with trimming was that at least with the Lee Quick Trim, it was never really perfectly straight. My cases were always, the case mounts weren't always completely square, and I would tell that when I would try to measure them. And I would hold it up to the light, and you could see that it was, it was kind of crooked. So I've actually adjusted this thing down pretty well. So what I actually end up doing is rotating this thing around. I don't know why it works for me, but it does. So just very moderate pressure. Now, like I said, I've adjusted this thing to where it gives me pretty consistent results. And just a couple of seconds, and I rotate it a few times, and it's usually good. So, and that, now, it does take the chamfer and deburr off, but it's a lot easier on the case, and it's a lot easier on the cutting die since I've done that. So this gives 1357. So sometimes it's 1357, most of the time it's 1358 or 59, but I mean, you get the picture. A thousandth of an inch isn't gonna kill it. So this one's 1368. Again, this is how I do it. And that one gave me 1357 again. So I'm actually going to pull this up this is just how I do it. There are probably better trimmers out there. This is just the one that I happen to have. And it happens to work pretty well for me. Again, converting, that was 1358. Converting 223 to 300 blackout is not something you do to save anything. I mean, of course, you've got to buy all the equipment. You know, you've got to buy the resizing die. You've got to buy, I bought extra decapping pin because some of these military crimps are kind of hard to take out sometimes. The primers for the military crimps are kind of hard to take out sometimes. But you've got to buy the trim die, the liquid trim. Like there's stuff that goes into it. But I enjoy it. And I don't know. Now I haven't had to buy any cases, but of course right now it's hard to get anything else besides cases. I've been able to get a hold of powder, but haven't really been able to get a hold of bullets or primers for a while. So yeah, nice and flat. That one was actually $13.59, but this is not something that is like quick and easy. Like sure, if you're just doing a couple cases, it's not bad, but I got a couple hundred here. I don't know with what's in here and what's in here. I haven't counted, but I think it's 150 to 200. It takes a while, you know, because most of these steps are not, you have to handle the cases so many times. But, I mean, it's definitely doable. I figured out how to do this watching other videos and kind of blended a couple different styles and came up with my own. Like I said, it's just what works for me. I'm going to go ahead, like all the others, and finish the rest of these, getting them trimmed down to the right length, and then we're going to move on to our next step, which is going to be removing our military crimp, kind of brushing out our case neck, and uniforming that primer pocket. So come back and see me next time for, I don't know, what is this, part 5? I guess join me for part 6, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks.